number 3 of our much anticipated Beast 2 instalment, Nick, brings us to a marina.
Yes, Andrew, and coincidentally or otherwise also brings us to the very vessel of which we speak, Mighty Beast 2. This series was done a few years ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
5 years ago, I'm saying.
And this is a boat we cannot bring ourselves to get rid of. We love Beast 2. Yes. It's sort of your boat now.
No, it's our boat. It's our boat. But it is still in the hook, line and sinker stables. It gets a lot of use.
It does.
It gets used, you know, once a month minimum, I'm saying.
Yes. So the Bertram 25, of which this is one, is a very, very good boat. There was a reason that International Marine built 1,500 of these things, and they're scattered.
How many would have been built in the States?
I don't know.
A lot more than that, though.
Question. Well, it's funny when you look, you know, when you go online and look for boats to buy in America and search Bertram 25s, they're not as ubiquitous as they are in Australia, I reckon.
Maybe the Aussies just love them.
A lot of 28s and a lot of 31s in America, but a lot of 25s in Australia.
Yeah, 25 might be a bit small in America, but we're going to take her out today.
Yep. Cracking day.
Cracking day, we'll go for a fish. But where are we up to in our instalments?
Well, not dissimilar actually, Andrew. So the next bit we'll have a look at is when we decided to take this boat along with another little bar crusher that we had out on an adventure.
She was original.
She was original in her original configuration, just to go for a drive really, or go for a fish. What we've got to do before we go anywhere with this thing is turn the batteries on. 2 sets of isolators there. You've got to run the bilge blower in these things. There's 400 litres of fuel under the floor, and these provide many sources of ignition, and that's a bad thing. So if you ever have one of these boats, the bilge blower, which is basically a big fan that sucks all the air out, is your friend. Right, okay. We're getting closer and I'm getting a little bit nervous. Look close up here, check systems. Yes, big trailer boat. That's apparently a normal sound. Doesn't sound great, but apparently normal sound.
You've got to go forward to go back.
Ooh. Oh God. Be rolling. Oh no, oh, hang on. Select neutral gear. Light the fires.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Just bring it back.
Oh, hang on. You're good. I'm good.
You're good, you're great.
Yep, good. Good, you got it there? Yeah. All right, well that's pretty seamless, isn't it? That goes pretty well.
All right, this is going to be an epic adventure. Nick, I think what we'll do is just swap and change between little boy and big boy.
Yep, I think it's a good idea, Drew. What we're trying to do is, you know, examine what is good about your small, functional new boat.
Oh, it's
That's
going.
very good.
It's going. I didn't have to start the blower or rev the things and
what
the things.
Potentially is good and or bad about my very affordable, massive trailer boat.
I'm off.
So that's quite good.
Okay, so we're going about, 30 mile up the coast to a place called Shootin Island.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. If you see smoke or flames, come back.
No, we're good. We're cruising in company.
I might head upstairs, I think. Head up to the flying bridge. Well, the day's taken a bit of an interesting turn. What was an absolute cracker flat calm day has blown up into about 20 knots, and it's blown up about 4 hours earlier than it was forecast, which is something I guess you've got to bear in mind. Good sort of two and a bit, 3 metre sea out here at the minute, and the old beast is going through it pretty well. Got Hardy behind us. It's one thing in this boat, it's another thing in a 4.9 metre bar crusher. It seems to be tracking really well, but this is where I kind of, I wish I had the reliability of my Yamaha outboard. It's all these 36-year-old components. If they stop here, all of a sudden you're not laughing, you've got a bit of a problem. So, touch wood, she all just hangs together. Come on, beast. Love you. I'm going to anchor up here for the night, I think. Not here, but in some shelter. The interesting thing about the Beast is, Beast 2, is that I would say she's been very lightly fished.
Yes.
She's been a cruising, pleasure, discovery boat.
That's right, yes.
So there's no cutting board, bait station, there's no deck wash. There are a few rod holders, but I suspect they came out of the factory. We'll need to do a few things like that. And that's what this trip is about, you know, discovering what this boat requires. Thanks very much for that. So, successful flathead session. We are about to be hit apparently by a bit of a southerly buster. So, while this looks idyllic now, and there are quite a few boats here anchored up, we are going to go that way to find a beach protected from the south, because we think we know better.
Okay, I just need to regroup here.
Reset, no problems. Plenty of time.
It's quite windy, that boat's swinging around.
Yep.
And I really have zero control.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got 2 engines. Oh, okay. All right. For any prospective buyers of these engines, that didn't happen.
Yep. Good. Seamless.
So we headed for sheltered waters and a quiet spot for the night.
Now, thoughts turning to dinner, and Andrew very kindly has got the squid jig out, Drew, the squid jig. And they can be a messy quarry, the squid, can they not? They need to be carefully handled, lest you find yourself, just maybe a turn that way, lest you find yourself covered with squid ink, which is terrific, Andrew, for sort of colouring pasta and that sort of stuff. But on boats, people, clothing, it is diabolical. Sticky, slimy, hard to get out. Ticks all the boxes. you have got a...
Yeah, no, I got. I got. That's fine. It happens.
Yep, we saw the squid boats this morning. They were dirty, weren't you? You made a comment. Squid fisherman is easy to tell because he's the one with blackness on him. You're hardcore. I'll be back up in the saloon.
Has the Beast 2 got a shower? Maybe
No.
that's something we should look into.
No, it doesn't have a shower. I've just been looking at the ablutions block, which doesn't include a shower, but has a toilet.
Yeah.
Don't go to it. It's broken.
So, with a few squid in the bin, it was time for dinner, and it was that camping classic, the flathead tail sandwich.
fruits de mer. Andrew's buttered some bread in this.
You don't have to say anything.
No.
I don't think you changed this.
So,
Too good for words.
Best boat in the world. Have you got a blanket?
no,
Pillow?
no. Well, I do, yeah.
Next morning, there was a bit going on. I took the bar crusher over to pull our cray pot, while I prepped Beast 2 for another day at sea.
Got a bit of an issue.
So do I didn't get a crayfish.
What?
Nothing. A nice starfish.
Nothing.
Starfish.
Any oil in the pot?
Why?
Well, because the boat, the bottom of it is full of oil. The engine got none in it. Boat, heaps.
Is there actually any oil in the engines?
Oh, this one is good, perfect, full. This one, the unhappy one,
So it stalls all the time.
yeah, there's no oil on the dipstick. So there might be some residual oil in it, but there's quite a lot of oil in there.
Yeah,
lot.
we better not empty the bilge because
No.
it's sort of almost World Heritage.
No.
It'd be some sort of like disaster.
No,
There'd be little penguins with covered in oil.
no one wants that.
No.
Fortunately, the previous owner had foreseen the problem and there was heaps of spare oil on board. We tipped it in and headed to sea.
Fish on! There's no one here. Oh, it's a good fish too. What do I do? What do I do? Good grief. I'm saying that's a good fish. Good grief. Oh, good grief. Right. Okay. All right. Oh, this is a big fish. Oh, this is a big fish. Oh, this is a proper fish. The game fisher. Oh, just sitting up there in the flying bridge after, now, doing a bit of a vomit. And out of the blue, we have got a proper big fish. Big fish. Big, really big fish. Oh, it's a marlin! It's a marlin! It's a Tasmanian marlin! I thought big tuna because we didn't get a jump out of him. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that's not a tuna. That's a marlin. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! She's a proven fish raiser now, the old girl. $22,000 we paid for this boat 2 weeks ago. Haven't put a spanner on it. Yes, it leaks a lot of oil and it's got its quirks. But who can complain about this? We're out here hooked up to a marlin. Who would have thought? Here he is. Who would have thought?
You got yourself a little marlin!
I got myself a marlin!
Oh, a marlin!
I got him. All right, his tail's starting to go. I'm gonna let him go. Oh. And there goes a marlin. Hey!
You little beauty! So in all the fishing trips that we've done in 20 years of making our show, where does that one rank for you?
Oh, way, way, way up the top. You know, in the top 3 or 4. Before the marlin came along, wasn't having a great day.
No.
I think I'd actually got a little bit seasick from the night before's festivities.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden, marlin on, catch it, and beast 2, forever in my heart. If you're enjoying this little series that we're doing, please like and subscribe to our channel because we are going to be uploading plenty more of this boating content as time goes on.